From my perspective looking on, the dating scene seems very chaotic right now. And I am happy I'm already married and that I'm not on the scene. I pray for y'all that are out there and looking. But with God, all things are possible. And if you are called to be married to the ministry of marriage, then you will find your Prince Charming and you will find your queen. Now I'm speaking particularly on the topic of submission. Now I'm seeing the men saying how difficult it is to find a Christian wife who is submissive, and how that culture is no longer a part because women have now been working and bringing in their own dough, and they're so independent that there's no need for a man in their life, right? However, there are lots of females who are saying that they would be happy to submit to a husband, but they are not seeing the Christian men that are deserving self-honor for them to be submissive. Then there are those who do not believe in submission at all. They think that they're all equal and everybody's equal, and who says the wife should submit to the husband and all of that. Well, coming from a scriptural perspective as a Christian woman, then the Bible does says women should submit to their own husbands. However, the text prior to that says that they are supposed to submit one to another. So a wife should submit to her husband, a husband should submit to his wife, right? And then right below, after saying wives submit to your own husband, it commissions our husbands to love the wives as Christ loved the church. He's supposed to be honoring her. He's supposed to be doing everything he can to make sure she's found without blemish or spot. To me, that means that he's supposed to be covering her. Whenever she steps out of the house, everybody is supposed to be saying, there goes Mrs. Edwards, there goes the wife of such and such, because he's taking such good care of her that she's representing him well, and from that reflection it shows his dedication to Christ and his love for Christ, right? And he's supposed to love her and honor her as he loves himself. In other words, he should be able to give his life for her, just as Christ gave his life for the church, for us, right? Though that might sound so difficult, because from our perspective, from our minds, from our worldly mind, the word submission, being submissive, seems that the woman is weak, that she supposed to follow the commands of the man, whatever he says goes and such. But I am here to tell you that based on I read in scriptures, I'm referring to Ephesians 5:21 to 33, right? It is saying that while all of this is true and that the women should submit, majority, the chunk of the rest of the scripture is to our men, our Christian men, to lead and such. And if we are leading as Christ leads the church, then the husband is going to value the opinion of his wife. Right? He's not just going to get up and make a decision or pull it out of a hat and say, this is what we're going to do. You do this, you do that. You know. For the betterment of the family, for the love of his wife, he is going to value her opinion. He's going to ask questions. They're going to have discussions. And then he will have the final say in the decision making. Why? Because the scripture says the husband is the head of the church. And while this might sound that you're not equal and why does he have to have the final say and such, I cannot fathom any institution that does not have something in place that creates balance, something that shows who leads or what. If we should look at it, in our homes, no. In our schools, in our churches, in our place of work, There's always someone who is in charge. You will not find a workplace that has 4 persons and the 4 of them are managers. You're going to have the CEO, then you're going to have the manager, then you're going to have the supervisor, then you're going to have the team lead, then you're going to have everybody else in the staff. Just imagine a workplace where everybody is leading. Put yourself, I would like to be a fly on the wall, listening into a board meeting with all managers of the workplace. Everybody would be thinking that their view is the best view and their view should be the one that is decided upon. But that cannot be the case, right? When you have structure and you have a lead and then everything else follows and there's the balance, then you're going to have the discussion, because a good manager will value the opinion of his staff and he's going to ask the questions. They're going to have a discussion about what the rest of the staff thinks, and then it's up to him to make the final decision based on what is being said. It is the same for our household. It's going to be a place of chaos, a place of constant arguments, a place of nobody winning if everybody thinks that they are the lead and their opinion should be the final say. There's going to be constant back and forth, and then at the end of the day no decision is made, and then everybody is stuck in the same place, nothing moves forward and such. This is exactly why the church and Christ gave us the guide in scriptures, right? It is here to guide us, and Christ commissioned us wives to respect our husbands, respect him as the head of our household, allow him to lead and guide, and a godly man, as I said before, will value such opinion. And if you are not in agreement, comment below, why do you think this should not be so? And if you do agree, share why you think, tell me why you agree, because at the end of the day, because the guide is here for us, it is only here to make our world a lot easier. It is here to make our lives easier, for us to flow, for the world to work cohesively. And the scriptures also tell us that while we are one body, you have the eyes, the ears, the nose, the hands, the feet. They all have their own functions, right? But it creates one body. If the eye was walking and the feet was talking, and everybody talking, everybody seeing, then who's going to move you forward from point A to point B? We need the feet for that, right? So it's the same thing. It's just structure. We read too much into it and we think that it is devaluing the women or such. But there's no devaluing when the husband is commissioned to love the wife as Christ loved the church. Christ loved the church with such immense love and dedication that it cannot be said that the women are at a disadvantage if they submit to their husbands who display such characters. And this is what I want to leave with you today. If you do not believe what I'm saying, you can find it for yourselves in Ephesians 5:21-33. Go ahead, read it, and if you still do not agree, turn the scriptures, find other verses, find something for you to find your answer. And remember, before you do that, do it prayerfully, and I assure you that you will come out understanding that wives should submit, but they are submitting under the condition that their husband loves them as Christ loves the church. Now that you have heard my chain of thought on the submission topic, you can go ahead and watch this video next on my experience life lessons on my first year of marriage.